Okay, welcome to Texas Chili Part 2. We've got our chili, which has been sitting in the refrigerator for 3 days. And that'll be really nice and ready to go. And we're going to make some cornbread to go along with that. So let's get our chili started, because it's going to take a little while to cook. Oh, boy, that's good. We're going to take our chili and pour in here. And part one, we just added some spices and some fluid to the chili. We're going to add just a little bit more fluid. Which is why I kind of reserve some of the spicy stock. And we're going to turn that up and get that started. The next step is cornbread, which I find perfectly good with chili. So we're going to just start just some basic cornbread. I'm going to do the dry part first. So we've got a cup and a quarter flour, just all-purpose flour. And to that we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of yellow cornmeal. We're going to add some baking powder baking powder. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Half teaspoon of salt. And a 1/4 cup of sugar. Now some people don't like sugar in their cornbread. I mean, kind of like the sweetness of it, but you don't have to do that. And we're just going to kind of whisk that all together. I like kind of whisking the dry ingredients together before I add the wet ingredients, because I think it makes a better mix myself, but to each his own. You just want to get that kind of mixed in nicely. Beats dumping everything in one bowl and then trying to sort the ingredients out with a whisk. So there we go. It looks pretty nice. You have a nice yellow color on that. I'm going to set that aside for a minute. And we're going to do the wet, which is pretty easy to make. We've got 1 egg, there's something satisfying about cracking an egg and then throwing it into the sink, but that's just me. I want to beat the egg a little bit, and then we're going to add a cup of milk, and a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. Going to give the cornbread a nice sheen. And that's the wet. So we're going to get the dry back here and just start mixing it up. This makes a really nice cornbread batter. There's enough fluid and dry stuff in here. Make a pretty good batter. Normally I do this in either a food processor or my mixing machine, but for today's exercise I'm going to just do this in the regular hand whisk. Everything all kind of broken down. what you're going to end up with is kind of a nice thick batter. I love cornbread, especially with the dish we're having tonight. Alright, so get rid of this. The next step is something to cook it in. And I got a 10-inch cast iron skillet. And although cast iron is guaranteed not to stick, that doesn't always work. So I'm going to just get a little spritz of oil, spray oil. That's, by the way, that's a canola cooking oil. And we're going to take and get the batter in there. I can already tell this is going to be a good batch, just by the way it's sitting in the pan. Bang that around a little bit. It's ready to go in the oven at 400 degrees. And there it goes. And that has to cook for about 20 minutes. And we'll have a nice batch of cornbread. Meantime, this will come up to heat. Just give that a little bit of a stir here. Now what we're going to do with this is we're going to let this cook for a little while, and then we're going to actually thicken it up just a hair. And I'll show you how to do that in part 3. Thanks for stopping by.